scandals involving these government. But it is a sign that people are getting frustrated in the sense that government might not be working or working off.
Not long after a judge allowed a riot suspect to go to Mexico for a vacation, another suspect is not being sent to jail despite being found with a knife while awaiting trial. Plus, the Pentagon says a third of service members refuse to get vaccinated. Why is that? We'll discuss. And here's the new one. Nikki Haley blames the media for the Republican Civil War. We will roll the tape.
To support a strong immune system, your body needs routine. Centrum helps your immune defenses every day with vitamin C, E, and zinc. Season after season. Ace your immune support with Centrum.
How can Experian Boost help you?
I just raised my credit score 13 points with Experian Boost.
Experian Boost has my back. It not only raised my credit score, but it saved me so much money.
Boost your credit scores instantly, free, only at Experian.com/boost.
Sick of annoying spam calls? RoboKiller eliminates 99% of unwanted calls. And our answer bots have fun blocking your robocalls. We gotta hit them in the nose. Yeah. So you can live your life spam call free. Download RoboKiller today.
Abdominal pain or discomfort, bloating, you may be the woman in living with IBS. Ask your doctor about prescription IV drugs for the daily dietary.
Oh, there you go. I was just about to tell you that. She was like, shouldn't we be recording for the other class?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if I pressed the OK button.
Yeah,
before.
I get glitches. I don't know what it is with Zoom. And let's go back. It's just the one. Okay, Sam, real quick. You want to hit all this again because we are recording on what, Thursday, February 18th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so reread it?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. Students, please reread the first announcement posted on January 28th, Progress Not Perfection. I appreciate you all for revising your letter to someone I missed cluster assignment 2. It's not easy digesting this material through distance learning tutorials and lectures. I'll continue to try and help you with any revisions, Adobe Spark issues, and anything else. Keep trying and improving. That's all I ask. Meet me halfway. Revisit Cobre on multimedia. The link is down there. And read chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. If you still have revisions, get them to me ASAP. I appreciate all of you, and I'm here to help you all. Let's continue to have a great semester of learning and sharing. As always, your first priorities must be your health and your families. My office hours are open. Most nights I am available until 1 a.m. Stay safe, Dr. Cheers.
Okay, let me just go over a few things. I was very, very pleased with everybody's videos, letter to someone that I miss. Everybody turned them in, right? Eli, you turn yours in? I can't hear you, Eli.
Turn yours in as in like presented during class?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to tell everybody that I appreciate what you did. Understand it's not easy the first time. Um, Still getting used to the storytelling aspect. Okay. Uh, Harry Edwards' letter to um, Bill Walsh was storytelling.
Mhm.
That's really all it was, and it drew you in at the very beginning. It held your attention through the narrative arc, through the conflict and the resolution. And again, it had a compelling and engaging ending. Okay. And I want you guys to keep that in mind as you go forward uh, with your next assignments, including the one coming up, the one topic, three people. Say, wow, how can a person on the street interview be storytelling? Well, I'm about to show you an example from 2016 when we did this assignment. It is an assignment that is an evergreen. What is an evergreen, Niger? An evergreen assignment is something that is a commonplace. It is something that we see all the time. If you look at your evening news, uh, your local news, you will see oftentimes that a topic is asked and turned in the form of a news story. And then the reporter asks a lot of people on the, in the street what they think about it. What do we see? How does that apply now? We see that with the COVID vaccine, right? Should everybody be vaccinated? Should schools be open now? Uh, you, you, those type of questions, and then we see um, um, the stories or the answers played out as the reporter interviews 4, 5, 6 people, and of course is edited down to whatever time frame that they have for that particular story. But it's random people. Those are just some examples. But the common denominator, Enrique, or the takeaway from all of that is storytelling. It's storytelling in its simplest form. What I want to show you guys now, which is also made available to you this morning. Again, I've been working on it for several weeks, and I just made it ready um, for you guys this morning at 10:30. Your next assignment, your cluster assignment number 3. Enrique, hit it. The SJSU.
The SJSU press release dropped at 8:30 a.m. the first day of the 2016 spring semester, announcing the next campus president. My MCom 63 class was scheduled to meet at 9 a.m. I gave the 20 students a quick 10-minute tutorial on how to produce a video interview. Many on campus had not yet heard the breaking news. This is what they did during the class period with their mobile phone cameras. I know no B-roll, but remember it was the first day of class. I
And,
edited.
and excuse me, and this is a link to what is B-roll that all you all should watch or read rather.
Okay.
Go ahead, Enrique. I edited.
I edited their videos into a 10-minute, one topic, 3 people segment. I emailed the clip to the president, Papa Zion, who was.
Don't you know how to pronounce?
Nah,
You,
sometimes when I read their emails, sometimes I can't
okay.
remember his name. I don't know his name. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I emailed the clip to President Papa Zion, who is still president at Southern Connecticut University. Our provost lauded my students for being innovative. We scooped all local media, including the Spartan Daily.
Okay, so guys, again, here I am driving to work. Okay, and I get the alert that the new president has been named for San Jose State University. That's breaking news. And so as soon as I parked and walked to campus, I say it's now about 8:40, 8:45. I go onto my email and I read the press release that's been sent, that's been emailed to all faculty, announcing. So I quickly, in my mind, said, let me turn this into a serious teachable moment. And again, guys, it's the first day of class, right? Students don't know jack, right? And so I said, what am I going to do? But this was breaking news. Students come in class. Here it is, 9 o'clock. Class is out at 9 till, 10:15, right? Hour and 15 minutes. Okay. So we have an hour and 15 minutes. I took the first 10, maybe 15 minutes after everybody got settled, the traditional welcome, blah, blah, blah. And I had everybody pull out what, Sam? Pull out their mobile phones, that technology that they're used to using anyway, right? I didn't say go downstairs to the equipment cage and try to check out, video cameras. No. What's the old adage, Anijah? Don't complain about what you don't have. Use what you got, right? So I said, hey, look, this story just broke. Even the students who came to class at 9 a.m. that morning had not yet heard the news. And I told him, I just gave him a quick tutorial. Normally, and Anijah would appreciate this because she has me in J95. You have your subject looking into the frame, not in the middle of the frame. I didn't, sweat them on that. I said, just try to frame it the best way you can, right, Sam? Don't cut off heads, right? Get close to them so we don't have a lot of extra noise in the background and all that. Get close to your subject, frame it. I went through framing real quick. And I told the students, so by this time it's 9:15, 9:20. I said, you have 40 some minutes, about 40 minutes to go out across campus. I quickly made up the 3 questions that I wanted them to ask 3 different people across campus. And I said, go find them. Students were nervous. Well, I don't know anybody. I just transferred in from blah, 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 from Foothill or, De Anza or City College. And, I'm from Southern California and I don't know anybody. Good. Because, right, Eli, if this was a real job, right, and your boss was paying you $1,500 a week, would you come back to him with some excuses? No, you would go pick up that camera, right? Because now at most stations, Sam, right, you got to do everything, right? You don't, there's no cameraman, there's no uh, street producer. You got to get out and you got to do everything. And so the students went out and they came back. Some of them were very good. All of them were good. I mean, for the first time doing this assignment, how do you fault anybody. Everybody had to come back with what they did. I had them send it to me, send me their raw stuff, and all I did was Eli. All I did was take it and put it all this footage in iMovie. Nothing fancy. No fancy swipes and transitions and all of that stuff. Boom. And so I edited down to about 10 minutes. And then as I was doing it, I had the idea. I said, well, since it's still fresh, perhaps the President Papazian, who was still at University of Southern Connecticut, perhaps she would like to have a copy of this to see what the expectations are that the student body would have of her, and faculty and staff would have of her coming to San Jose State. I didn't ask anybody. As a faculty member, we have academic freedom, right? I didn't have to run it by the chair or the director or, the provost or the acting president at that time. I just did it. What did I do, Enrique? I went on the website, right? Because the press release said that she's coming to us from University of Southern Connecticut. Duh. So I type in Google, University of Southern Connecticut, bring up their website. And if you go to the office of the president, right, Sam, on any website, it tells you something about her and it has her email address. So all I did was after exporting it out of iMovie into onto my desktop, taking it where, Elijah, taking it to YouTube, so the video could be compressed and processed. I got the link and I put it in again, because it was 10 minutes. I believe I put it in Google Drive and I sent it to her just with a note, welcome to San Jose State University. My name is Dr. Michael Cheers. I teach this class. And then I thought it was great to give my students some real life experience and exposure on their first day of class. This is what they did. I also thought that this must be, or this might be of interest to you since you'll be joining us in July. Okay, they give the incoming president, time to finish out his or her business where they are. You got to move across the country and blah, 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 and all of that. She not only sent me back a nice note, but when I met her the beginning of the fall semester, I walked up to her and introduced myself, and she immediately, well, Dr. Cheers, thank you very much. Yes, I remember what you sent me. I really appreciate that. I appreciated what you did. I said, oh, you're very welcome. My students enjoyed the experience. And again, welcome to San Jose State University. So you see the thought process, guys, right? Always got your ear to what, Sam? To current events, current affairs. Always have your ears to breaking news, because if you are a reporter, if you are a, for broadcast, like what Elijah wants to go into, or you want to go into print journalism, working for a newspaper or a website, no editor is going to spoon feed you your assignments for the day. They're going to expect you to do what, Enrique? You're driving to work. They will expect you to pull over and text your boss and say, I just heard of so and so and so and so story. Can I cover it? Can I go there? They're going to expect you to be enterprising enough to come up with good stories, not to wait until you come into the office, have your cup of coffee, go to your desk, answer your emails, check in with your colleagues until you get an assignment to go do A, B, C, or D. No. If you're that kind of reporter, trust me, you will not have a job long. The reporters and photographers who have longevity in this business are those that think outside the box, those that bring something to the table. Dr. Cheers dropping knowledge today. So you guys who are going to update news, or you going to the Spartan Daily, you can't wait until the Spartan Daily editors hand out assignments. You can't wait until Professor Garazzi or whomever is running update news to hand out assignments. No, you should be enterprising enough and have your fingers on what, Eli? You have your fingers on the pulse of the community to know what's going on where, Enrique, not only in your neighborhood and in the community by which you live, but also the area, the Bay Area, South Bay, whatever is the coverage area of your news outlet. Right? That's how you build your reputation at your newspaper, or you build the reputation at your news station. Okay, so I just think it's important to kind of just have walked you through that real quick. You know, this was not something that I came up with, after I got to class, or, the news started circulating throughout the day. Guys, personally, me, I wake up every morning. This is just a habit. And I tune into the local news, the regional news, the national news, and the international news. I read 4 to 5 to 6 newspapers that I subscribe to on the internet every single morning. I start, of course, with my Mercury News, then the San Francisco Chronicle, and then the LA Times, then the New York Times, and the Washington Post. Every single morning, not just 5 days a week, but 7 days a week. And I've been doing that forever, ever since I was in high school. Because I just have this interest, and now it just comes natural. I have this interest in what's going on around me. I want to know. So back to the assignment, 3 people, 1 topic. This is how it should be laid out. Your title slide, we all see it. I just came up with this title, right? Should all SJSU students get vaccinated? Your title should be able to fit on 1 line. I do not want any 2 and 3 line questions. Okay, any question on that, Eli? Okay, go ahead, Sam.
So are we using this question or are we
No,
just coming
no,
up
no,
for
no.
our own?
You come up with your own
Okay.
questions. Yeah, this is
'Cause-
just something that I came up with.
Yeah, no, that's a interesting question because some of my other professors have been talking and they were telling me some students don't plan on getting vaccinated because they
Exactly.
think herd immunity, but
Right. You
yeah.
know, I mean, now if anybody wants to use this, of course, it's out there. And the reason why you would do what, Enrique, get easy answers is that what, Anijah? It's a current topic. It's on everybody's mind, right? San Jose State right now is in the throes of trying to hopefully open back up in August.
Yeah, some professors are actually thinking from what I've heard that some professors want to stay online through Canvas for another semester until the numbers go down, which
Exactly.
yeah, and
Exactly.
it's like hard for me since I live in Santa Rosa and I need to put in my housing application for the dorms, but if I don't have class on campus, I might as well stay where I am now because I'm saving a lot of money on rent personally, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you are not alone, Sam,
Mhm.
because a lot of students, I remember talking to Anijah offline a couple of classes ago, uh, and really wanting, the campus experience and this, that, and the other, and all that. But a lot of students have, uh, over the last couple of months, thought this through uh, financially
Mhm.
and have said, I may like that, but it's cheaper because housing on campus, especially with the meal plan, can get very costly. And then you got to put on tuition on top of that,
Yeah.
you know. So on till this back to normal, 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 normal. Yes, a lot of teachers or a lot of faculty and staffs, are looking at hopefully um, waiting yet another semester and maybe coming back in January or a year from now, right?
Yeah.
January of 2022, to give everybody opportunity to get vaccinated. People are looking at this could be a question: should SJSU campus be a vaccine outpost? Ah,
Like they
know,
can go and get
right?
vaccinated on campus?
They could go to San Jose State and get
Yeah.
get their vaccine or get vaccinated.
Mhm.
Don't we have the Valley, what do you call it, the Valley Nursing School? Don't we have the facilities? Yes, we do.
Mhm.
Right? So again, that could be a question. Okay. Uh, Another question could be, uh, uh, should all students be required to be vaccinated? That's an excellent question because we are getting into the rights of the personal rights and this, that, and the other. Uh,
Yeah,
I,
we're already required to have a couple vaccinations before we even step onto campus. I actually am due, I think it's for rubella and measles. As soon as I'm done with class today, I'm going to get my third vaccination for it.
yeah, you know, um, well, just like when you were young,
Mhm.
uh, uh, Anijah will remember that because she's only 12 years old now. But when you go into elementary school, right? What do you have to show before you can go into the classroom? That
Got
that
records.
that vaccination card. I've been vaccinated for polio and this, that, and the other, and so forth and so on. You know, uh, because you don't want to expose or you don't want your child exposed to some uh, child who is not vaccinated. But we see on the other end, right, on Enrique, we have a lot of parents who refuse to have their children vaccinated and have gone to court fighting the guidelines for having their children vaccinated. So it's all kind of issues, but that's just around this issue. I mean, there are so many other issues, gosh, man. There's still the immigration issue out there. I mean, I follow the news every morning, dealing with uh, uh, immigration reform, and we all know the well, I'm going to call it, I don't like to get into politics, but the mess behind the Trump administration as it relates to uh, immigration, uh, DACA, the Dreamers, the da da da, this, that, and the other. I mean, all of that. I mean, those, so you got that issue. You still got the issue of the high unemployment. You still got the issue of people still going to food banks. So it's all kinds of current events issues you all could come up with, and to keep it to one line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, words or less, right? Because this is probably about all you could get, maybe one more word to get it on one line. And then what do you do, Eli, if you got say 8 or 9 words and it's too big? Well, you try to, number one, edit it down. Number two, change your font size, okay, to make it fit on one line. One line, everybody. Section 82 students, one line, okay? Every person that you interview, okay, whether or not you understand the composition where they should be off to the right or to the left, looking into the frame, that lower third should have their name. Okay, and since this was a campus question, right, Anijah, you have their the year that they are and what their major is. If it's somebody in the community, you would say Mary Jones Milpitas, okay, or Sam Hutchinson Willow Glen, okay. So that's your lower third, okay, title, and then your end credit. Your end credit. How do you spell laceration, Anijah? C-U-T, Anijah. We keep going
Right,
through this. Right? Keep it simple. Produced by and your name. No colons, no semicolons, no one line. It's not produced, on one line and then by on a line and your name on a line. Okay, produced by, boom. Any questions on the slides? Okay, now this part is very important. Two things. Whatever your question is, you should always ask your person who you're interviewing to repeat the question at the top of their answer. In other words, everybody's listening, section 1 and 82. Should all SJSU students get vaccinated? That's what you're asking them. And then they would answer, I think all SJSU students should get vaccinated because, and then they give their answer. Or I don't agree that all SJSU students should get vaccinated, blah, 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 blah. But they have to repeat and or frame that question at the top of their answer. Or to keep it real simple, they would begin their answer with what, Eli? Should all SJSU students get vaccinated? I think blah, 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 blah. Okay, and that should be for all of your 3 people. Now, the next piece. This is only for 1 minute. That means what? You got about 15, 16 seconds, right, guys, per interview. Do not cut your interviewer off from talking. Let them talk. While they are talking, Enrique, what are you doing? You are listening to their answers. And if you are listening for their answers, you are doing 2 things. Number 1, Enrique, you are actually editing it. You're editing their segment in your head. So you know that when you get down and you get back to your editing suite, Adobe Premiere or iMovie, you can go right to it and pull out their answer. And number 2, Sam, is what? You're listening for B-roll. You must have some B-roll to go over or to be integrated into that person's answer. No person, no individual, no subject, no interviewee, the person you're interviewing, should be on the screen more than 3 to 4 seconds. So that means that 5, 6, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever it is going to be B-roll over what they're saying. Okay. Number 3, I don't want to hear your voice at all. You will edit your voice out. Obviously, using your iPhones or your camera phone / videos, you will be recording your question as they are answering. But when you get back to your editing suite, all I want to see is this come up. Cut right to what they say, to the second person and the third person. Any questions?
So it's only going to be like a minute at max total. Are we allowed to cut it earlier, or do you want it just 1 minute?
I want it a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I want it a minute.
Okay.
Okay. This is what we did in 2016. These were the 3 questions that the students went out to ask. See,
hope the new president solves the stake and lowers the new tuition rates and hopefully decrease the campus crime that's been going on.
I expect Dr. Papazian to be reasonable and very transparent with his or her actions, and just also be pragmatic and open to whatever solution best suitable for students.
I would ask the new president how she plans to improve Spartan pride here on campus. Go Spartans!
My expectations for the new president to be a strong leader.
I would hope President Mary would help make tuition more affordable for SJSU students.
I would like to ask the new president if she will be able to find funding to hire more student assistants on the campus and especially in the library. That's what I'd ask her.
I'm Jose, and I'm an art major. And my question for the new president, would be, how would you improve campus safety for students around campus?
My name is Ryan Scannell. I'm assistant professor in English department. And what I hope the new president brings to SJSU is a closer relationship between the faculty and the administrators and the students.
Welcome to San Jose State, Dr. Papazan. Our expectations are that you treat us fairly and move the university forward and promote our brand. Good luck.
I would ask the president when the new facilities, the dorms and the athletic facilities at South Campus will be ready just for new students coming in and new athletes, so I can give them proper information.
My name is Zainab Fakhruddin, and I'm actually the president's assistant here on campus. And I'm hoping the new president will bring to campus some energy. I hope that she will be amazing with students, interact with them at every chance that she gets, and also treat her faculty and staff with respect and come with open ears and an open heart. And we're super excited to have a new president on campus.
Expectations for the SGSU president would be to make dorm life more interactive.
Okay, I'm Greg. I'm majoring in digital media art. My one question for the new president would be how would they fix the impacted state for the art majors, mainly animation and digital art.
My name is Alex Resch. I'm a justice studies major at San Jose State. And if I were to ask the new San Jose State president one thing, it would be how is she going to build a good relationship with the student body here at San Jose?
Again, this goes on for another 7 minutes or so, but you get an idea of what these students did. Seriously, you know, with only a 10-minute tutorial, some of them were better than others. As you can see, Enrique, a lot of other people, including the grown folk, couldn't get her name right, so don't feel bad. It wasn't a easy name to understand in 2016, and still, even today, she's been here, what, 5 years? This is her 5th year. Probably, you know, students and others have a difficult time pronouncing her name. But you see what the students did. Wasn't a bad job. Now, granted, they didn't have time to get the lower thirds in there and all of that, but that's an idea. This is, you know, and again, they weren't, you know, framed, all of them, the way I would like them. Again, Niger will understand this and appreciate it from J95, where you try not to have that subject in the middle of the frame, but I didn't care. I just wanted them, you know, the content of what the people were saying was more important than the composition. Okay. And again, this just goes on for 10, well, I edited down to 10 minutes, you know, but it seemed like everybody, there's our friend Donna, Donna Nichols, those who know her. So that's what the students did. You know, they went across campus, got students, administrators, and other faculty members. I really like this one, you know, tight, nice headshot of this student looking into the frame. I like this one here. This gentleman or this student did a good job here. This one was nice. You know, they changed angles. You got some people sitting, some people standing. Again, this is like 9:30, 9:45 in the morning. Wasn't a whole lot of people yet on campus, but I like the fact that they got the president's assistant. I believe that's the young lady here outside of Tower Hall. And it turned out nice. Was it perfect and all that? We ain't trying to get perfect. The content was more important than the composition. And I thought that the students did a good job. Any questions on this assignment, right? Because we're going to be, right, Sam, we're going to be asynchronous for the next 2 classes. So that's next week, I guess, right? Next Tuesday and Thursday, and then you bring it in the following Tuesday when it's due. I will put up some other tutorials as needs be over this weekend, next weekend. Get out now, guys. Watch the weather, right? Because it's supposed to have some sun and blah, blah, blah. We're very fortunate, right, Sam, that we're not down in Texas with all that madness with the cold weather and the climate change and all of that. So we're blessed to have some decent weather out here in the Bay Area. So let's get out there. This assignment should probably take you a couple of hours. Now, Sam, just because it says 3 people, don't mean you go out and you interview 3 people.
You actually read my mind because that was going to be my next question.
Thank you.
So.
You always, even if this was a documentary where you shoot 10-1 in terms of footage, 10 times more footage than you actually use, the other 9% ends up on the cutting room floor. I would, at the most, I would maybe have no fewer than 6 to 7 people.
That's what I was thinking, like no fewer than double what you actually need.
Absolutely. Why is that, Anijah? You don't want to be sitting at your, editing suite and then and you're looking for the best of the best content and you don't have it because you only interviewed 3 people. Okay. My advice on this assignment is to, once you have, say, interview 6 people and you have selected the 3 people that you're going to use, this is what I would do. Eli, are you awake? This is what I would do. I would listen for all of them, the 3 people. Then I would go out and gather my B-roll. Yeah, because you want your B-roll to match. If there was, any, I want to say harsh critique, because I didn't harsh critique anybody, but if it was anything that I constantly have had to say in my critique of your letter to someone that I miss, it was that your B-roll didn't match your subject. I mean, some students had, trees and walking down the street and walking through the, the hills or somewhere on a hiking trail or something, and it just didn't fit with what they were saying about the person that they missed. So that's why I'm giving you this weekend and all next week. And then therefore what, Sam? Next weekend. You got 2 weekends plus 2 class periods to critically think this assignment through. So once you have chopped up and edited your 15 seconds, right, 30, 60, 90, what 30, 60, what 20 seconds, 20, 40, 60 seconds, and then you want to trim a little bit more because you still got to have 4 seconds for your intro slide, right, Sam, and 4 seconds for your credit slide. So once you have done that and you chopped it up and you have your audio, you have your picture, and you have your audio, make notes as to what you need to have in terms of your B-roll. Again, for example, say we are talking about should all SJSU students get vaccinated? I'm just throwing this out as an example. But the first thing that you want to do is what? You want to have an establishing shot of San Jose State. And even though classes aren't in session, right, Anijah, there's still students on campus. Okay, and so I would have some pictures on campus that show, in some cases, students, and as well as some cases, what, Eli? The scarcity of students on campus right now. Okay, I would have B-roll of the not the wellness center, but the health center on campus where students go when they got the tummy aches and the blah, 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 this, that, and the other. The Valley Nursing School, so forth and so on. Then I would, if I could get some live shots of what, Sam? People getting vaccinated. If they're getting vaccinated at public spaces or public places, you don't need permission, right? To videotape it. So, and if you are confused behind that, Enrique, what do? All you got to do is look at the evening news, because every night on all the stations, NBC, CBS, ABC, and even Cron up in San Francisco, all of them have these stories of people getting vaccinated. And they have B-roll of people getting the shots at the Moscone Center or at the airport here in San Jose. I think they also have it at San Francisco International Airport. There are a lot of churches. There's a lot of drive-throughs, right? What's that other place? The stadium, the 49ers stadium. There's all kinds of places that you can go to get live shots of people going in to get vaccinated. That's your B-roll. And lastly, your challenge is, I want different B-roll for all three of your people. This is an exercise into listening to the people that you interview. Because somebody may say, what, Anijah? My church, every Thursday, they do vaccinations, and next Thursday, I'm going to take my grandmother there. I'm going to take my mother there. They aren't vaccinating my age group yet, but when they do, I'm going to be there. What does that say to you, Anijah? Next Thursday, where are you going to be? You're going to be at that site getting some video of that person getting vaccinated. Okay. So you got to think through this, guys. I want a visual variety, not visual redundancy for all in terms of B-roll for all three of your subjects. Any questions?
Yeah, can we pull some off the internet if it matches better than something we can get like in person?
Excellent question, Eli. Yes, you can, but if you do, then up under here, you should say underproduced by Sandy Smith, additional footage, and then cite
Okay.
source.
Okay, just cite it. Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a website called Pexels with an E. They actually have free stock footage and photos for anybody to use. So that's a good one. I recommend it. It doesn't like make you like sign up for anything, unlike some of these other ones, like I don't know, stock. Yeah, so I can't
Right.
remember the name
You
of
know,
it, but yeah.
but I also don't would like for the stock footage or stock photos not to have the watermark on it.
Yeah, these don't have watermarks, or at least from
Yeah.
what I've seen. But yeah, they're pretty good. But it's always, you know, better to use more of your own footage when
Absolutely.
you need to
Again,
use stock.
Sam, you're reading my mind now.
Yeah.
You know, I would prefer that you went out putting your with your journalistic hat on and get fresh footage. Now, something else that you can do, if when you are doing your three people and you have the opportunity to get B-roll, then and there, grab it. Grab it. Okay, whatever question that you come up with, grab it. Okay, as opposed to going home, blah, 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 cutting it up and have to come back out. You know, say for example, you do a story, you are standing outside of Safeway. Okay, and your question is, are food prices too high? Make sure you spell two right, T-O-O. Okay, are food prices too high? And right, because again, you always want to be somewhere where people are likely to have an opinion or comment. Right? You would not go to a hospital, stand outside a hospital and ask somebody, what is your opinion of Stephen Curry winning the game last night in overtime against the Miami Heat? No. If you were at the outside the Chase Center last night in San Francisco, and you had and they won, which they did. I'm grabbing another headline. He had another incredible night, which is 3-pointers and all of that. And they won a game that they would have normally would have lost because of, they don't have all their players and blah, blah, blah. Then that's one thing to be in that environment. So try to ask once you have your question formulated, and go to an environment by which you can get the best answers. Does that make sense, everybody? Because if you don't, you'll be frustrated. If you want to ask somebody about should the 2021 tax filing season be extended, well, where would you go ask that question, Anijah?
I was like a government building.
Well, not any government building. You would go downtown, right, to the IRS tax filing building, right? Because every morning, even with social distancing and stuff, people are trying to get answers to their taxes for 2020 to file on time for 2021. That's where you would go, right? You wouldn't go ask them that question outside of Levi Stadium. You'd be standing there all day in the cold trying to get an answer, right? Okay, so just use some common sense, right? Yesterday was a good day. What, Sam, for what? What was yesterday? What was yesterday? Wednesday. What was yesterday?
Was it Ash?
Ash Wednesday,
Yeah.
right?
I was gonna say, I thought it was Ash Tuesday, but is there an
No,
Ash Wednesday?
it's Fat Wednesday, Fat Tuesday, Ash Wednesday.
There we go.
So what was the man on the street questions yesterday about Ash Wednesday? Because a lot of churches did what? They had Ash Wednesday service in the parking lot, Ash Wednesday service in terms of drive-throughs, what they did down at the Basilica of St. Joseph downtown, as opposed to, the ashes on the forehead, right? They sprinkled the ashes on their heads, right?
Mhm.
And they asked the question, what do you think about Ash Wednesday this year? Boom. What people would love to talk. Oh, I thought it was innovative, it was creative, as a way, blah, blah, to still receive ashes, so forth and so on. Right?
Yeah. I saw a couple videos of it actually where some younger people who were off away at college, this one video in particular, I'm thinking about, his mom was like, I hope you went to church today. It's Ash Wednesday. So he didn't know what to do. So he just took some ash from their fireplace and
Oh Lord.
crossed it on his own head. He's like, when your mom's really Catholic and you have to be a good boy. So.
I understand.
Yeah.
But that's
So that was
another great
Mhm.
subject.
Yeah.
It was more of a current event. In other words, it was a one day kind of question to ask and
Mhm.
get a answer. And then if you look at this morning's, I can almost anticipate what the front page story and pictures are going to be. I opened up my email this morning, my San Jose Mercury News, boom, page one picture by my former student, Randy Vasquez, of people receiving ashes at a church, I believe, Menlo Park or somewhere, So it's in anticipation. What if you wanted to ask the question, to stay in the religious thing, what Ash Wednesday began the season of one, Anijah, for $500.
I'm not sure.
Oh, come on. Don't y'all go to church?
You usually have to like give up like an addiction or something that you.
What's it called? Lent.
Thank you.
It's the
I
Lent
haven't been to
season.
church in a while.
I can tell.
Yep.
Enrique is trying to hide because he said it's been a long time.
I also grew up Mormon and we didn't do Lent.
I
See, I
understand.
said Rent.
I understand. But
Yeah.
this is a Lenten season, right? Leading up to Easter, you know, in the 40 days, you know, between Ash Wednesday and Easter. There's a whole lot of a whole lot of Lent questions, you know, that you could ask people. And, you know, outside of some churches, even though a lot of churches are virtual, you know, you could ask, people inside of their homes or whatever, you know, but you would find a Catholic community, in other words, to ask that particular question. So I've given you guys a whole bunch of examples on this one topic, 3-person cluster assignment 3. I am here to answer any of your questions. Just reach out to me. Anybody who has so far can attest that I've tried my best to get back to you ASAP within a reasonable amount of time. You know, if you email me something at 2 o'clock in the morning, I probably won't get back to you till about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, but I will get back to you. Any questions going into this assignment? You know, plan your work and work your plan. You know, you guys got 2 weekends. You got this weekend and next weekend. You got plenty of time to do a 1-minute assignment. Okay, I put the templates up there. I talked you through section 1 and section 82 on the various scenarios that we talked through with this discussion and lecture. Okay, I got to go 1 or 2 minutes earlier. I got to get ready for a 12 o'clock presentation at the MLK Library. But again, I am available for all of you all at any time. Y'all good?
Yep. Thank you.
All right. See you all. What's the day?
Nope. 18th, Thursday.
No. The next time that we meet will be
the first.
Second.
Or the second.
Yeah.
The Tuesday the 2nd, is it, of March?
It's the first.
Is it the first?
First is a Monday. We're on a Tuesday, so it would be the second.
Yeah,
right.
Tuesday the 2nd of March.
Yep.
Or said another way, Sam, I'll see you next month.
Yep.
Bye-bye, y'all.
I gotta get vaccinated. Bye, guys.
All right, Doc.
Good luck on your speech, Dr. Cheers.
Thank you.
On your presentation. I'll see
Thank you, sir. See you.